Hey everyone, in this tutorial I am walking you through start to finish exactly how you're going to create automated emails using ActiveCampaign. Now there's a couple different ways to do this, but again I'm going to be walking you through how I do it. So first and foremost, anytime I create any new challenge, any new opt-in, any new webinar, whatever it is, I create a new specific list in ActiveCampaign so that I can be really clear that this is where people are coming from. This is why people are signed up for this specific list, and this is why they're receiving these particular emails. So again, if I were going to do a new challenge, I would create a new challenge list. So we start that with creating a new list. I'm going to click this button. This is add new list. I would give that list a specific name. So let's just say March 2017 challenge, because I'm going to be running a challenge in 2017, March 2017. I don't know which one that is, but I'm going to be doing one. So I would make sure that I also name it live, because I know that this is what's going to happen when they're going through it live, whereas I'll probably take this content and also repurpose it. So I'll just give it that name live to remind myself of that, to keep it clear for myself. They're opting in because it's from my website, or I want to remind them who I am and what my website is. Remind your contacts why they're on this list. So I'll normally write something like, you are receiving this email because you registered, if I can spell registered, Jesus, registered for my free live challenge. And I would give them a name. I'll remember to fix that. Just to remind them what the challenge was. And I would say, thanks for that. That's how I write it. Create list. All right, cool. So now I have a list. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is click the automations button. And this is essentially where we're going to say, hey, ActiveCampaign, this is what I want to automatically happen once somebody joins this list. So I would click this new automation button. I would hit start from scratch, hit create. And now ActiveCampaign is giving us a ton of options for automations. Now, of course, we can't go over all of this, but for the purpose of this training, we're going to focus on entering into our automation once somebody subscribes to our list. So how will a contact enter your automation? They've subscribed to a list. We're going to select what list that is. March 2017 Challenge Live. It runs once. Add start. So this is showing us the workflow is this automation begins when a contact subscribes to this particular list, and we want to tell ActiveCampaign what's then going to happen after they are added to this list. So we're going to click this little plus sign. We're going to hit send email, create an email. So I would just do challenge welcome. Obviously, I have a bunch of templates, so I would just pick my basic newsletter template, and this is where I kind of have like my photo set up and my signature. Of course, if this is brand new for you, you would just hit build from scratch, but I'm going to go ahead and click my newsletter template because, again, my picture and my signature is already in there. So I would say something like, you're in for the challenge, details inside, right? So let them know, hey, like these are your details for the challenge. This is everything you need to know. Click continue. All right, so right here we've got I've got my photo up top for the header. I've got my signature on the bottom. You don't have to necessarily do that, but that's what I do. So this is where we have, it says ActiveCampaign kind of explains it to you. This is your welcome paragraph. So this is where I would just select everything and delete it. And I would start writing to my, the person receiving this email. So I would say, hey, personalize. I would insert their first name, highlight that to make sure it's the same font as everything else. I use Verdana 15. And I use black, except for links. Hey, first name. Thanks so much for registering for the XYZ challenge. And then I would share with them what they need to know. I'm not going to do all of this because I've given you my example email, so I don't see the point in wasting time. So once I finish up that email, I would go ahead and click next. Finish. I would go ahead and name this automation. As somebody who has done this in the past, it can get pretty complicated after you create a bunch of automations. So I highly suggest giving it a title from the beginning. March 2017 challenge, welcome automation. Go ahead and click save. And then I would go ahead and make this active, okay? So again, just to kind of look at the big picture here, I am telling ActiveCampaign to start an automation. When somebody joins this list, I want them to receive this welcome email automatically. Now, I want to take this a little step further, and I want to show you how you go ahead and add more emails onto this if you were going to go ahead and do something like an evergreen funnel, which we talked about in the training today. This is when we want to send people a series of emails automatically. When you're doing a live challenge, we only want that one welcome email because again, we're going to be sending them campaigns every single day throughout the live challenge. But if this is not something that's live where we want somebody to sign up for something and then receive a series of emails, what we would go ahead and do is we would click this little plus sign button. We would say click conditions and workflow, wait for a specific period of time. I'll typically do wait 1 day. That's up to you. However long you want to wait. I suggest 24 hours, but again, up to you. So I would tell ActiveCampaign that somebody subscribes, immediately they receive an email. I want to wait for 24 hours, and then I want to send them another email. So we just hit a plus sign, hit sending options, send an email. I would create a new email, email 2. Select my Sarah newsletter template again. Part 2 of your training, right? We're giving them part 2 a day later. We would write up an email. Next. Finish. And then so on and so forth. You can keep adding on emails however many you really want to add on. At the end, what I like to do is, let's say if I had 5 emails in this series. So day 1, they get the day 1 of the challenge. Day 2, they get day 2, so on and so forth. Then what I would do after that, I would go ahead and click this plus sign, and then I would do conditions and workflow. Wait about 7 days because I don't want them to start receiving my other emails. Maybe not 7 days, maybe 4 days. After they've gone through this series, I want to give them a little bit of breathing room, and then I want to move them over to my master list where they receive all of my other emails. We're not going to really talk about this in this training since it's challenge specific, but the point here that I want to make to you is that you want to move them automatically over to a master list so they can receive all of your other newsletters and all of your other sales emails, but only after they've gone through this funnel. So go ahead and click save, wait for 4 days, give them that bit of breathing room after they've received all of these emails in a series. Then I would click this button, contacts, subscribe to another list, and then I would have them subscribe to my master list. And again, this is where we don't lose people through the cracks, right? They've gone through this series and then they've gone ahead and moved over to your master list. And you can use this concept in a number of different ways. This could be they signed up for a Beachbody coach training to hear more about Beachbody and they receive these emails and then they move over to a master list. They could receive an ebook, receive all the follow-up emails, move over to a master list. You can use this concept in a number of different ways, but I just wanted you to have the basics, again, for the purpose of this training and so that you understand how to send automated emails via ActiveCampaign when somebody signs up for your challenge through your landing page.